Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? I'm doing quite good because today I'm going to be reacting to this new thing on this new kind of like TikTok trend thing, like I believe it pronounced Xenogenders. Um, I think what basically is that you can it's like this new gender thing where you can like identify as like a deer, I believe, and like cake. It can actually identify as objects now. So it used to be man and woman. Then it was personalities, and now it's actually objects. So it changed a bit. So yeah, I found this like I say a couple of weeks ago. Like most of you know, I don't use TikTok. I don't have it on my phone. I don't like it because I believe it's a waste of time. I find the content on there mostly boring. But I do watch the occasional big compilation on YouTube of a TikTok, like trend. But like the Minions ones that I reacted to last time. But I found this and thought it'd be good to react to. And by the way, I really don't care about this. I'm only having a bit of fun. You do you. I really don't care. So at least I got that out of the way. We can have some fun reacting to it. So first of all, as you can see, I believe you pronounce that as Leonic. A Leonic is a masculine and or male-leaning gender that is related to warrior kings. It feels bold, confident, and commanding with a sense of leadership. Think of a king leading his troop into a victory battle. So basically, this is for people who are, if you are strong and masculine, like confident and bold. So basically, if you're quite alpha, basically. So you would be, if you're any of those things, you would be Leonic, according to this person. I think it just means you're quite a strong leader. Personally, I don't think that has anything to do with gender itself. You can be a bold, confident woman or a bold, confident man. But anyway. Well, the music does actually fit this, because the person who is probably identifying as Leonic is probably in the Twilight Zone, so actually good music in the background. Wait, what is this? Let's see, this is... Okay, there's lots of flags actually. Gay. Someone who is a non-woman and attracted to non-woman. I thought this was about genders. This is just like... I think that's a gay flag, because they have like separate flags for each sexuality, don't they? So, by gender, when someone identifies as two or more genders. Okay. Alright, so I think I heard about this one before. Basically, someone who just like says, I'm a man, today, but tomorrow I'll be a woman, like changes it up. It probably is annoying for the people around them, though, I've got to admit, it probably is. Other subculture. This is when a gay man is small framed but quite hairy. I don't think that's a gender. I don't think just because you're small and hairy means you get a new gender. I'm actually not sure about this because it does say gender, so I'm presuming that's either actually genders. Static gender, this is when one's gender can feel fuzzy, confusing, constantly switching on and off. What is that supposed to mean? Just turning on and off mean like they just collapse and just faint out of nowhere. Star genders. This is when one feels like they're always discovering something new about their gender. But what happens if one day they don't discover anything new? What do their gender become then? Cat gender. This is when one gender relaxed, lazy, and curious. So these seem like kind of like personalities more than genders. But anyway. Yeah, I support you. I think that's another way. That's like. I think that's the other one. What did? Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. I think neo pronouns are like pronouns for xenogenders, I believe, but not neo self shit. Noun self shit. I don't know the difference because there are too many. So I'm gonna have to believe her that noun self genders are shit. I have to I have to say that. Or I could be a complete idiot. Okay, what is this? Different gender identities, non-LGBT DNI. I don't know what DNI is. Mess gender, a gender which is the writing is like quite small. Mess gender, a gender in which someone has almost no idea of what their gender could be or keeps finding terms that almost fit but not quite, causing them to jump from label to label. They can't tell if their gender is fluid or not, how many genders they have, or if they have genders at all. Well, I think advice for mess genders here that, let's just say you were a guy, allegedly, and you like to makeup, and you like to wear makeup. I don't think that makes you a woman. Like, you can like girly things, you can like boyish things and still be a girl. I think, so for any mess genders out there, I say, stick to the status quo and be the gender you were born with. So if you're a man, you still use your manly pronoun. But if you're a woman, still use your womanly pronoun. So that's my advice for mess genders out there. Which is this. Halloween. What? Halloween Coric, I believe. Eric, I think gender where they possess with this identify, they feel very connected, I believe, to Halloween. So this is, I'm not even going to read that, sorry, but people actually identify with holidays now. I think there's, I don't know, let's read the other one. King gender, male aligned Xenogen. The writing notes is quite small and kind of pixelated. I don't think it's the quality though. Okay, I'll try and read it though. The individual with this gender feels like their identity feels majestic, imposing and grand, often involves in a gender expression that is bold, commanding, confident, may openly pursue reversion of their identity from others and or be very vocal about it. For identity to others with pride. Is that fog gender? Vampire gender, dragon gender? You know, I'm not even going to read this because that's just a waste of time. LGBTQ dreams.
I think we should just let people express how they feel. We literally live in a capitalist hellhole.
Oh yeah, of course. We all know them filthy capitalists, those filthy capitalists, for 1%, they absolutely hate the LGBT community. They despise them. It was not like just like under a month ago, they were like supporting the LGBT community massively, like to an extreme extent, more than any other time. No, that did not happen. It was a lie. It was all fake. It didn't happen. That did not happen at all. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they hate the LGBT community. Hate it. Absolutely despise it. They do. Trust me on that. But I could do a whole video on how they absolutely hate it and how they destroyed the LGBT community and how they made homophobia rise last month. But I won't. Can you talk about Xenogenders? I'm open-minded but having trouble grasping the concept of Xenogenders, like plus genders? What? Plus genders and frog genders and star genders. So now we know the context.
And the best way they can describe that is, it feels like a star. My gender feels like a star. Okay, valid. Sure.
Like, I kind of agree with this woman for a bit. Like, I find the thing kind of stupid. Don't get me wrong. I find this thing stupid. But like I said before, if it makes you actually happy, then I suppose go for it. It's nothing to do with me.
I really don't see the problem at all. My only asterisk, or like my only little note, is if you use a lot of neo-pronouns interchangeably, and this is not to crap on neo-pronouns. I'm reading a lot about gender studies. I have been lately. I'm having my own little
Please,
gender identity crisis.
I hope she's studying this in her meantime and not actually doing a degree in it.
The point is, neo-pronouns are valid, but if you use a lot of them interchangeably depending on how you're feeling that day, be patient with people. rapid change like that can be difficult for a lot of people, and especially people with learning disabilities or other disabilities. So just be patient, maybe work on ways that you can express the pronouns that you're feeling that day, name tag, bracelet, earrings, different things. You are still incredibly valid, you just maybe need to be a little bit patient while the rest of the world is catching up.
That was actually probably the most reasonable one so far, actually. That was reasonable. That was reasonable. Out of all this so far, that was the most reasonable one, which says a lot about this compilation so far. So let's do this. Neopronouns make us look like a joke. Okay. Don't know what to say about that one. Xenogenders of the day is owl gender, xenogender, where you have a gender but it feels lost, like you cannot find it. I don't have a headcanon this time, so you lose your gender, like like you lost it, like you can't find it. I recommend, if you are of an owl gender, I believe that's how it's pronounced. I recommend just going to look at your birth certificate if it says male or female on it. I say just go by that. You may never find it, but it probably is the best chance you will to ever find your gender.
Thank you.
I love you. Jesus Christ, what's up with her hair? That's mental. Jesus Christ. I love your makeup. How do you conjurate your pronouns?
Extra motherfucking thank you for asking about my neo-pronouns.
Like, this is one thing I noticed about TikTokers in general. Like, we always get like, they get their earphones, sorry, get the mic there, and always do it like really close up to their mouth, really up close.
Please use my neo-pronouns. I cannot beg enough. Please use them.
No! I will not use your neopronouns!
So it's nothing special. I got these pronouns off of that pronoun suggestion master list on Tumblr.
Wait a minute, is Tumblr still going on? Is Tumblr, like, I swear, like, their stocks in their, like, daily users dropped massively years ago when they banned porn off it. Which says a lot about their users in general, where, like, the majority of their users left because they started banning porn, which says a lot about them, doesn't it? It says about the average Tumblr user.
It was under royal and divinity because if you didn't know, my gender is very connected to deities like gods and demons and angels and things like that.
You got the demon part right. You're probably right about the demon part. About the god part, the deities, probably not.
That's literally what the pronoun stands for. Dei is short for deity. Also,
Okay, so like, if I ever meet this person, I will have to say like, I would have to say like, what I would have to say is that, I don't know. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I stopped. But if I ever met this person, I would have to say like, say they instead of her or she, I believe.
Also, if you didn't know, I created my own Xenogender. You can look it up.
Wait, the whole entire website.
Gender card into Google. It should be the top hit. There it is, right there. If you are interested in Xenogenders / Neogenders in any capacity at all, like literally don't know about them, want to learn more, or want to adopt one or anything like that, please go check that out. That was like a 3-day passion project I worked on tirelessly. I'd also love to hear some feedback because, I've only really gotten feedback from other friends, which was super helpful, but like an outside perspective would be super nice because I know it's not super perfect, and like I said, I sort of did it in like a manic state in like 3 to 2 days. So
Wait, did you just do it non-stop?
But anyways, on to how to conjugate my pronouns. So there's like 3 to 4 different forms of day. There's day, dayem, day self, and dayer. I only really use day, and I'm not really a stickler for like the other pronunciations. Like I never really use day self, and dayer doesn't necessarily like vibe with me personally.
Well, I think people around would have to use it, so wouldn't they? So like let's just say I was in a group of people and you were there, and we were having cake, but people didn't give the cake to you, so I would have to say they self would like some cake as well, stuff like that. Wouldn't I?
Damn. If you have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, think about it in like normal terms, as in like her, myself, them, and things like that. I'll put like a thing up
Okay.
helping to explain if I can. I personally don't really worry about the other conjugations because they don't really gel with me as easily. Like, I've never really used dayer. That one doesn't personally like click with me. Never really used day self. I think damn is pretty cool, and if anybody could like find a situation to use it or use it more, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't know.
Why? Why? I don't get why you find that cool.
It's literally just replacing like the pronoun you would use, like, oh, she is going to the park, they is
Days.
going to the park. Where are they? Where is they? Like, simple like that. Literally,
Okay.
there's no need to reform the entire sentence. It's literally just taking out the other pronoun and putting it in. It always works. So yeah, that's the deal with my pronouns. Hopefully that helped and like explained a lot more. But I'd actually kind of like to elaborate on some other stuff.
Okay.
My pronouns really mean a lot to me, and people like never really ever use them. So it would mean
Why do you think that?
because they really help me connect with my gender a lot more. And I'm tired of being the only one that acknowledges it.
Well, yeah, no one's gonna call you that, so are they? You're a woman. I'm sorry, but the majority of people wouldn't know about this. So is this the end? It is. You are valid and loved. Okay, so like, what is my stance on this? I kind of said this before earlier on in the video, but if identifying as a god, identifying as a vampire or a frog or even Halloween makes you happy, I can't stop you. But here is a word of warning though to the people who use these genders, use these pronouns like non-binary or frog gender or Halloween gender, like, or whatever. The world is not Twitter, TikTok and Tumblr, I'm afraid, for you all. So most people, like 99.9% of the population, will only really know male and female, okay? That's what they will know. So if you came up to someone saying like, my preferred pronouns are frog and toad, let's just say, most people wouldn't understand that. Most people would call you an idiot, probably. But that's the sacrifice that you're going to have to make if you use these all the time. Okay? So I just want to make that clear to you that you will never really be a majority because most people are comfortable being he or she's. That's just a fact. Yes, if you want to identify as a frog, then go for it. Nothing to do with me. But don't expect everyone to actually use your pronouns, because there's going to be a lot of people. If you went up to like most people, quite a lot of them will probably think you're an idiot and stupid, to be honest. But like, you have the same right to use your frog pronouns. People have a right to say you kind of sound stupid, because like, everyone should have the freedom to say what they want and identify as they want. So yeah, and also it's quite interesting because like, this kind of made me look back, because I remember like around 2018 to 2019 when like non-binary people started becoming quite popular. Like, they were around before then, but this is when it started ramping up rapidly. I remember seeing them like, why it makes no sense, and to be honest, it still doesn't make that much sense to me to this day. But looking back on it now, that seems pretty reasonable. You just don't really feel masculine or feminine. That sounds reasonable now. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you look through the biological factor, but it does make more sense than identifying as a vampire or Halloween. It does make a lot of sense. So this is how far we got. This is how bad it got. This is how bad it got. But anyway, if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe. If you hate it, leave a dislike and write an angry comment calling me homophobic, transphobic, racist, neo-Nazi, etc. Everyone should have freedom of speech to say what they want, and if I had to give you any lesson to go home with today, is that say what you want, I don't care, and everyone should have freedom of speech to say what they want to anyone, including me. So anyway, and you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye.